Let's talk about some tips and tricks for alternatives to ironing and particularly for caring for bedding. I don't iron at all anymore because I have OCD and it literally sends me into a spiral. But the key point here is to smooth out wrinkles when the fabric is still damp. So if you have a damp dry setting on your dryer, that's great. Or you can just use a spray bottle with plain old water in it. You just spritz some water onto the fabric, like take this duvet, which is historically hard to keep wrinkle free, and you just use your hands to smooth it out. When it's wet, it first looks worse because it clings to the blanket underneath, but when it dries, it's all nice and smooth. Another option is to use a Tide antibacterial fabric spray. I love this stuff. I try to use water whenever I can, particularly on like pillows you're actually going to sleep on. But this is great. It smells fantastic. It's got the same principle. It smooths things out. And I love it for things that you can't launder all the time, like a decorative pillow or a fabric headboard. And it darkens when you first spray it, but it all comes out when it dries. So this is a few minutes later. As you can see, everything really just smooths out. I did this in like 2 minutes, so it's not perfect, but honestly, it's bedding. Like, it's fine. And it's just so much easier. Who wants to iron? For keeping white sheets white, I've historically really liked the Laundress Signature detergent. Unfortunately, it's under a recall right now. I've tried some of their other products. I tried the crease release, but again, I just prefer water. But the trick to white bedding is using white vinegar, and I don't do this every time, but whenever they look a little dingy, and baking soda. The baking soda, you can take like a half cup, quarter cup, throw it in with your detergent. You can use borax if you want. I don't always do that. And the vinegar goes in the rinse cycle. You might want to use like a half cup for normal situations. Before you do anything though, if there's any spots, you always want to pre-treat them. I like the OxiClean. I really like the spray and wash, maybe a little bit better, but for whatever reason, it's hard to find. The biggest thing though is no bleach. Don't use bleach. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but bleach actually interacts with like the sweat and oils from our bodies and it creates yellow stains. So if you're using bleach to try to whiten your sheets, you're probably doing yourself more harm than good. Stick to the vinegar and the baking soda. It will just make your life so much easier. If it's really bad, you can also soak it with a little bit more in like warm water for a while and then wash it. But it's really easy. Another thing people asked about was folding or organizing. I'm not a folding expert, at least for sheets, so I'll skip that. And I don't keep a lot of sheets because I like them to be fresh and put right back. But one thing I thought about is if you have sheet sets and you're having trouble keeping them organized, I love these multi-purpose bins from the Container Store. They're great. Now back to clothes. So again, I don't iron. This is a polyester shirt that's like impossible to get the wrinkles out normally. I have this Conair handheld steamer. I really like it. I'll include it in my list of Amazon favorites under laundry, but it just heats up in a few seconds with normal water and you just do it very roughly. This does not have to be a perfect process. You get the steam on it, on the fabric, and the wrinkles just fall out. It looks damp for a second, but that goes away very quickly. The steam is very hot. Be careful. But it's so easy. Like within a few minutes or a minute or two, you have a perfectly wrinkle-free shirt or whatever you're doing. And it's just really nice. It's a million times easier than ironing, which I always found like you iron one part and the other part gets wrinkly. I can't stand it. It's also great for travel. Like you don't have to worry about your clothes getting wrinkled. But let me know if you have any other questions.